Huh. What's happening, Puff? I'll be back to you if JD ain't had enough. Yeah? Jermaine Dupri, king of the pedophiles, if you ask me, baby.
I mean, like, around the neighborhood, we would dance and sing a little bit, but I mean, we really got into it a lot when we met Jermaine Dupri, our producer.
Okay.
In hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
The allegations against Diddy are getting more shocking by the day. Katt Williams is stirring things up with some wild accusations, claiming that Diddy and Jermaine Dupri were involved in some shady activities with young male artists, including Kriss Kross. Remember those guys who had everyone wearing their clothes backward? Well, now there are rumors that Kriss McDaddy Kelly's overdose in 2013 might be tied to some dark stuff from his days as a child star. It's also being said that Diddy was a key reason these talented boys were pushed out of Hollywood. Williams spilled the tea in a video, and fans are freaking out, wondering what's really going on with this boy band. We all know stories like this aren't uncommon in Hollywood. Many child stars have fallen into addiction after being preyed upon and traumatized. Think Orlando Brown, Jeanette McCurdy, Corey Feldman, Amanda Bynes, and many more. Rumors about Jermaine Dupri doing something inappropriate to Kriss Kross aren't new, but a recently resurfaced video shows Katt Williams calling out both Diddy and Jermaine. Now fans are saying the entire entertainment industry is built on grooming, abuse, and trafficking. But what exactly did Katt say about Jermaine Dupri and Diddy? And did Kriss Kross's McDaddy really overdose because of the trauma he went through?
I'm gonna tell you like I told Puffy, I don't let men take me out, sir. I'm good.
Let's take a trip back to the early 90s, when hip-hop was on a wild ride with Kriss Kross, that iconic duo that rocked the music scene. We're talking about Kriss Mac Daddy Kelly and Kriss Daddy Max Smith, who brought some serious energy and their own unique style. Their big break didn't start on a glamorous stage, though. It all began in the vibrant city of Atlanta, Georgia. Kriss Kelly was born on August 11, 1978. And Kriss Smith came along on January 10, 1979, both soaking up the musical vibes of Atlanta. Here's where it gets really cool. Back in 1991, these guys were tearing it up at Greenbrier Mall in Atlanta when fate stepped in. They caught the eye of legendary producer Jermaine Dupri, who was totally blown away by their vibe. Dupri didn't waste a second. He saw their potential and quickly signed them to his label, So Def. With Dupri's guidance, Kriss Kross began their journey to stardom.
How did that happen?
One day we was walking down the mall and we saw our producer Jermaine Dupri with one of his groups. And we went over to the group to get an autograph because they had a record out at the time. And while we was over there getting an autograph, he asked us if we rap, sing, and dance. We told him we rapped and danced a little bit. And then from there we took each other's numbers. Then we just hooked up and started doing demos.
Fast forward to 1992 and bam! Their debut album, Totally Crossed Out, hits the shelves and takes off, selling over 4 million copies. Their track, Jump, was everywhere, dominating the Billboard Hot 100 chart for 8 straight weeks. The beat, the lyrics, and their incredible chemistry had everyone hooked. But it wasn't just their music that got people's attention. These guys flipped the script on fashion by wearing their clothes backward. Yep, you heard that right. This bold move became their trademark, and suddenly, everyone was copying it. Kriss Kross became a cultural phenomenon, and their music videos, especially the high-energy Jump, were on heavy rotation on MTV. And check this out. Back in 1992, during the peak of their fame, they scored the ultimate gig, touring with the king of pop himself, Michael Jackson, on his European tour. Can you imagine? Sharing the stage with MJ? That's like hitting the jackpot in the music world. But wait, there's more. They even dipped their toes into the gaming scene with a video game called Kriss Kross, Make My Video. Okay, so it wasn't a massive hit, but it just goes to show how far their influence stretched. These guys weren't just churning out hits, they became cultural icons, inspiring a whole generation with their unique style and skills. Kriss Kross didn't just make music, they paved the way for other young artists and left an indelible mark on 90s hip-hop. After the huge hit Jump, everyone was hungry for more from Kriss Kross. That single wasn't just popular, it made history by dominating the Billboard Hot 100 for a massive 8 weeks in 1993. They even scored the award for Favorite New Rap/Hip-Hop Artist at the MTV Awards, completely shaking up the music scene. Their vibe connected with fans of all ages, turning Kriss Kross into a household name, and those backward pants, they sparked a nationwide fashion craze. After Jump, Kriss Kross faced the challenge of maintaining their cool and injecting freshness into their tunes, all while staying true to their signature vibe. And boy, did they rise to the occasion. Their highly anticipated second album, Da Bomb, dropped like a bombshell, showcasing not just a follow-up but a testament to their artistic evolution. It wasn't long before Da Bomb went platinum, proving Kriss Kross wasn't just a flash in the pan, but a true heavyweight in the hip-hop scene. With bangers like All Right and I'm Real, they kept the vibes high, consistently delivering tracks that hit home with their fans. This success sent a clear message. Kriss Kross wasn't going anywhere. They were here to stay, and they meant business in the music world. As Kriss Kross kept making music, they also changed up their style. Yep, they traded in their iconic backward clothes, signaling a fresh start for the duo. They were all about showcasing their artistic development and breaking away from their old look. Now, not everyone was totally vibing with this switch-up. Fans and critics were kinda split on it. But Kriss Kross didn't let that faze them. They were all about pushing boundaries and growing as artists. They wanted to prove they weren't just stuck in the past. They were the real deal. So, in '96, Kriss Kross came out with their third and final studio album, Young, Rich, and Dangerous. This album was more on the mature side. They're taking us on this journey through the music scene and spilling their personal stories. And bam! Young, Rich, and Dangerous goes gold, proving they're not messing around in the industry. Hits like Tonight's the Night and Live and Die for Hip-Hop are just showing off their mad skills, proving they're not one-trick ponies. But hey, success comes with its own set of challenges. Hip-hop's changing, new trends are popping up left and right, and Kriss Kross has to keep up without losing their signature style. Some people doubted if they could roll with the new wave, but Kriss Kross? They stayed true to themselves, kept dropping those tunes that their hardcore fans couldn't get enough of. All right, let's take a step back. Kriss Kross shot into the spotlight from their chance meeting at Greenbrier Mall all the way to signing with Rough House Records. Their debut album, Totally Crossed Out, made a massive impact, etching their names into music history. But as we're about to delve into, their journey wasn't all smooth sailing. Challenges and heartbreak were part of the ride. As the '90s progressed, Kriss Kross hit a few bumps that disrupted their rhythm. The music scene was evolving rapidly, and they found it hard to keep pace. Their early fame was built on their unique style and catchy tracks, but eventually, even their trademark backward pants felt a bit passé. On top of that, their voices matured, making it difficult to maintain that distinctive high-pitched sound that had once made them stars. Despite these obstacles, they persisted, releasing music and touring. But the buzz wasn't quite the same. Packed arenas and chart-topping hits gave way to lackluster album sales and half-filled venues. Internal disagreements and external pressures added to the mix, straining relationships and causing creative struggles. The pressure to replicate their early success weighed heavily on them, intensifying the challenges they faced. Back in 1995, Kriss Kross dropped their final big hit, the gold-certified album Young, Rich, and Dangerous. It was a shift towards a more mature vibe for them, but after riding the wave of success, they decided to split up like many groups from the early 90s. They also found themselves in a heated rap feud with another bad creation, ABC, which sparked what was known as the Kitty Rap Wars. This clash of egos and styles got fans and the media buzzing. Both groups had their time in the limelight, but as musical tastes evolved, staying relevant became a challenge. ABC faced their own struggles, and Kriss Kross saw their fortunes decline. Despite attempts to reignite their careers, they couldn't quite make it happen. The ever-changing music landscape proved to be a tricky maze to navigate, and eventually they faded from the spotlight. Kriss Kross made a surprise return in 2013 to celebrate the 20th anniversary of So So Def. Fans were totally hyped for a big comeback, but it turned out to be a one-time thing just to see how it felt. The reunion was a nostalgic blast for fans, but sadly it didn't lead to a permanent comeback. After the show, both Chris Kelly and Chris Smith moved on to new adventures and personal growth. They might have taken a break from the music scene, but their bond stayed strong. There's no denying that Jermaine Dupri had an incredible knack for spotting talent. Thanks to him, Kriss Kross became one of the most successful and youngest musical acts of the early 90s. But there's a darker side to their story. Chris Kelly, one half of the iconic 90s duo Kriss Kross, passed away at just 34. Apparently, he was rushed to an Atlanta hospital with police suspecting a drug overdose at his home. The official cause of death hadn't been confirmed yet, pending an autopsy. There were some old rumors about him battling cancer back in 2009, but those turned out to be false. Poor guy. He had to deal with all sorts of challenges, especially with the music biz changing and the pressures of fame weighing on him. Remember when those photos came out showing him with bald spots? Man, the internet went wild with rumors saying it was cancer, but Kelly cleared that up, saying it was actually alopecia, not cancer. My health is good. I just got alopecia. I don't have cancer, not other sort of diseases. But underneath all that, there was a hidden struggle, a tough battle against drug addiction. His mom and uncle recently opened up about it, shedding light on the years of hardship he faced away from the spotlight. It wasn't just a personal fight, it affected his career too. Trying to juggle his creative work and meet the expectations of fans became increasingly difficult as his health deteriorated. Sadly, despite his talent, Kriss couldn't break free from addiction's hold, and it ultimately cost him his life. His story is a sobering reminder of the destructive power of substance abuse, even for someone as talented and celebrated as him. So, according to this police report mentioned by TMZ, the moments leading to his passing were just heart-wrenchingly tragic. Kelly's mom shared that he'd mixed cocaine and heroin the night before he left us. And sadly, that deadly combo took him away from us on May 1st, 2013. Just before he passed away, a troubling video surfaced from his house, revealing him in a really bad condition. This came right after a frantic 911 call reported that he was not responding. Despite attempts to revive him, he was declared dead that afternoon, leaving everyone stunned and grieving the loss of an incredible talent.
This morning when I woke up, this peace came over me. 'Cause I know Kriss is in heaven with our Heavenly Father.
Jermaine Dupri poured out his heart in a letter to fans, describing Kelly as the son he never had, and celebrated his talent and friendship. To the world, Kriss was McDaddy, but to me, he was a son I never had. When I think about it, I spent more time with Kriss than damn near anybody in my whole life, so you can imagine how bad this hurts. The toxicology report revealed an overdose, shedding light on Kelly's struggles with addiction, a sadly familiar story in the music world. Amidst Kelly's personal challenges, allegations from Katt Williams hinted at a darker side of the industry, suggesting figures like Diddy and Jermaine Dupri may have played a role in Kelly's hardships. This complicated the narrative, intertwining personal battles with broader industry issues. And when it comes to the drama surrounding Jermaine Dupri, Katt Williams kicked off quite the saga with some serious accusations, with Bow Wow adding his own twist to the mix. So back in 2018, when Jermaine popped up on Vlad TV, fans raised their eyebrows at how he handled Vlad's question about Kriss's passing. It seemed a bit off to them. Jermaine couldn't quite pin down Kriss's age when he passed, and he got all antsy when Vlad asked if they stayed in touch. Like he couldn't sit still or something.
And then one of the members passes.
No,
not right after, but years later.
Yeah, years later.
He passes at a relatively young age. Was it 30-something?
Yeah, I think so.
Did you see that coming at all? Were you guys still in contact?
No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't see that coming. We was in. I mean, we had just did the 20th anniversary, so it was like.
Of course, just because Jermaine's involved doesn't automatically mean he's guilty of anything towards Kriss. But you know how rumors are. They have a way of sticking around. Fans have been digging through old interviews of Kriss Kelly from the early 90s when Kriss Kross hit it big. they've been noticing something interesting. Back then, Kriss seemed super outgoing and happy-go-lucky. But fast forward a few years, and he appeared pretty down and gloomy in almost every interview. Whispers kept buzzing around, claiming Jermaine may have been involved in some shady stuff with Kriss Kross or maybe turned a blind eye to it. Yeah, those rumors didn't quit, even years after Chris Kelly passed away. And get this, Jermaine himself actually spoke up about these accusations at one point. He even clapped back at a fan who dared to comment on one of his Instagram posts, though that post has since vanished into the digital abyss. There's been a lot of talk about Jermaine and the Kriss Kross boys, but there's no solid evidence to prove he did anything. You know? It's like this typical rumor mill stuff that kicks off whenever you've got a young artist being guided by someone older and influential in the biz. But here's where it gets juicy. There's this persistent rumor that just won't quit. And part of the reason it won't die down is because Katt Williams stepped up and, well, he didn't mince words. Back in 2011, he straight up dubbed Jermaine with a pretty heavy title, the P word. Yep, he even crowned him the king of P***Diophiles. And it didn't stop there. A video surfaced of Katt dropping some freestyle bars, and man, he came for everyone. Diddy, Jermaine, even Steve Harvey got a shout out.
Huh. What's happening, Puff? I'll be back to you if JD ain't had enough. Yeah? Jermaine Dupri, king of the pedophiles if you ask me, baby.
Now, what Katt said about Jermaine was pretty nasty to say the least, but instead of flipping out or threatening to sue like he did to that fan on Insta, Jermaine just kept his cool and didn't give it any attention. A lot of folks thought Katt was out of his mind or something when all this went down, so nobody really took him seriously. Maybe Jermaine figured it was just best to let it slide since Katt wasn't exactly making sense. But then, things got even more interesting when Bow Wow, who Jermaine had been guiding since he was a kid, decided to stir the pot even more in 2018 with a tweet that added fuel to the fire. "You at Jermaine Dupri, if you don't answer my call, I'm going to tell the world that you and underscore. With all the buzz about Diddy possibly trafficking his artists, fans are starting to raise eyebrows at other big shots in the industry. If you haven't caught up, Diddy's ex-bodyguard Gene Deal dropped a bombshell, claiming he heard Diddy talk about getting Danity Kane members addicted to drugs and exploiting them.
He stood up there and he said, in front of a lot of people, we were in the studio, and I said something to him and walked out the studio. He said, "Yo, I'ma drug their ass off and pick them up and pimp them out to my nigga." He said, "I'ma drug them out. I'm gonna get them all on drugs, and I'm gonna pimp their ass out to my nigga."
And then, of course, there was Cassie's lawsuit. So basically, Cassie spilled the tea in her lawsuit against Diddy, claiming Diddy got her involved in some shady stuff, including encounters with male workers. Fans are all over this, suggesting that even if Jermaine didn't do anything directly, he might have put these guys in situations they shouldn't have been in. It's like what went down with Usher and Puffy's Flavor Camp. Then there's this whole thing going around where some folks in the industry are saying that Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith may have done something not cool with Chris Kelly when he was like 14 or 15. And get this, these claims are coming from none other than rapper Daz Dillinger, who was tight with Tupac and even produced tracks for his album All Eyes on Me. In a 2021 interview, Daz straight up said that Jada had some kind of entanglement with Chris Kelly.
That was the first dude I seen. You think Jada Pinkett was entangling? She was entangling with Chris Kelly from motherfucking Kriss Kross, because Kriss Kross was in the room and he was like, "Jada Pinkett is at the door, but don't leave. Take this weed. Chill." We like, damn, this motherfucker gave us an ounce of weed. We're gonna kick it right here. Then he came back in, he said, "Yeah, that was Jada Pinkett." I'm like, damn, this nigga fucking Jada Pinkett at a young age.
And let's not overlook this tidbit. Jaguar Wright mentioned hearing about lots of young guys bolting from Jaden Will's place during their mentorship sessions.
Yeah.
They're both bisexual. They do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house fucking screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bashir Gray. Left that house fucking screaming.
It seems like Diddy could have played a part in Kriss Kross calling it quits in Hollywood. And even Katt Williams has been dropping some hints about it. What's your take on all this drama surrounding Jermaine and Diddy? Do you reckon there's some deep-rooted stuff that went down with Chris Kelly back in his child star days? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to stick around for the next video. Thanks for watching.